Hello, it's me, I'm back again. Got a film for you guys and girls and women and men. We got a dog. Get your dog to watch this film as well. He might be a targeted individual himself. You never know. Okay, the A.R.D factor. That's what I'm talking about today. And I know you're wondering what is the A.R.D factor. Okay, and it's a mnemonic that I've made up myself for just basically dealing with gang stalking, something you can have in your mind. Are you doing any of these things? Okay, and I get it from looking at soldiers, how soldiers react. You know, I know most of you people out there, you're not going to be sort of military minded or anything, but we are being attacked in a kind of military way, and you know, so the mnemonic is A.R.D. Okay, A for attacking, R for repairing, and D for defending. You know, and if you look at, say, some soldiers at war or something, they will be doing either one, two, or all of those three things. Nothing else matters apart from those three things, really. You know, they're either going to be attacking back, or they're going to be defending, or they're going to be repairing equipment or people or their defences. And if it's not one of them things or all of them, they're not doing anything. Okay, so attack is the first one. First one is human and time resources of the people who are doing this to us, you know. And the way you do that is to make it as difficult as possible, because that way they need to use more time, more resources to target you and to follow you around. This channel is for people who are TIs who don't deserve it, you know. And I'm going to be talking about this later, but it's all to do with abuses of power. That's what I'm coming to find out about this, but I'm going to talk about this like in another film. Most TIs are thinking, what is happening to me? You know, you feel like you're being treated like a criminal or a terrorist. You are being treated like that because you've been flagged up as a criminal or a terrorist. People who actually flag up people as terrorists, they get money for it. So the whole system is totally open to abuse, you know. This channel is not for real terrorists, okay? It's for normal people who are being really taken advantage of by the system at the moment. Make it hard for them, which is do whatever you can, destroy all your letters and all this kind of thing. Take receipts with you. Don't use shopping bags which have got the branding of the shop on them. Just don't make it easy. You got to be a little bit like a spy. If you make it obvious, your gang stalkers can be anyone, just someone out of a neighbourhood watch. They don't even know anything about this kind of work that they're doing. Okay, because you make it easy for them. If you make it harder for them, the people, your gang stalkers, need more training. They need to be more knowledgeable. It's all about time and resources. Okay, you know, it's important you make it more expensive, because one of these days someone at the top is going to say, why are we spending all this money following around normal people? The more money and time and resources it costs them, the quicker this will be stopped. Okay, so talking about financial profit as well. You know, obviously talking about making them spend as much money as possible on your harassment. Okay, also don't buy their rubbish, because I've talked about this in other films. You know where this is all coming from. This is, you know, there's a Nazi shadow government who are changing the laws. They're doing basically what the Nazis did in World War II. And a lot of the products they're selling that are basically like we're digging our own graves. This was what the Nazis used to do in World War II. They used to make people dig their own graves, and then they'd shoot them while they were in the hole. You know, and if you buy their dangerous products and they're like food and stuff that's just full of rubbish, chemicals and that, you're doing that. You're digging your own hole, you know, and you're enriching them at the same time. Okay, attack their secrets and their secrecy. So what I'm doing now is I'm trying to help people. I'm also attacking these Nazis by exposing them, exposing their secrets, exposing their Nazi agenda, expose their human rights abuses, If you're a targeted individual and you're not a terrorist, your civil rights are being totally trampled on. If you don't talk about it, you're not helping. You need to be making a YouTube film or doing it whatever way you can. If you're a musician, talk about it in between your songs. If you're a comedian, talk about it in your sets. This stuff's got to be talked about and let people know what's happening. That normal people are being flagged up as terrorists and their lives are being ruined. Expose your harassment, expose their crimes, expose their secrecy. A lot of this stuff, it just goes under the table because like most people aren't interested in politics, and that's how they do it. Politics, I think, used to be boring, but now I'm having to get interested in it and I'm seeing how they work. And it's all smoke and mirrors. They slip stuff under the carpet. They rush bills through which basically trample on people's rights, and no one notices, because people trust the government. This is an information war that we're in. It's an intelligence war, You have to be more like a kind of spy. Just have to be a little bit more like that. Just think about the things you have to do. Just be a little bit more mindful of it. So talking about repair, financial aspects. I'm just talking about really, when you become a TI, it happened to me. I ended up spending all my savings, moving around different places, leaving jobs, wondering what was happening to me, spending money on sort of spy cameras and things like that to get evidence and all this, Tighten up your finances. Just watch out for spending money you don't need to be spending. Spend wisely, and it's like the old adage of look after the pennies, the pounds will look after themselves. It's totally true. If you just have the attitude of 10 cents or 10p isn't nothing, it is something, then it really makes a difference, I think a lot of the time rich people, they don't actually have income that's that much higher than anyone else. They're tight with their money. That's how a lot of people get rich, is through doing that. So TIs need to be a bit more like that as well, I think. Make sure you're getting the right price for stuff and that you're not buying stuff out of frustration of being a TI. Because, whatever you do buy, you're probably going to be enriching these Nazi globalists. They own everything. It doesn't matter where you go, there's going to be a Nazi globalist who basically has shares in that company or owns it and nobody even knows. Okay, repair your body. Just look after nutrition and exercise. I've spoken about this before, I'm going to keep speaking about it. Your fitness and that, if you've become a TI recently and you've stopped going to the gym because you get targeted at the gym, you need to repair that aspect of yourself, maybe find other ways to exercise. You won't stop people. If people are harassing you in the gym, you can't stop it really. There's nothing you can say to them, they basically work for these sort of intelligence agencies, in a sort of a minor kind of capacity. Sometimes they get harassed and coerced into it, and conned into it. They think that these TIs are terrorists, If you weren't a TI, you can see how that could happen, if I wasn't a TI and someone from MI5 or something approached me and said, Lee, we've got this terrorism problem. I want you to help us out. I'm going to pay you. I might have probably done it, thinking that I was doing the right thing. Like I say, you got to make it hard for them, And if you turn up at the gym at 7 o'clock every Wednesday, it's easy for them to harass you. Mind that don't think about like past harassment. Don't dwell on the fact that you've been targeted. Don't let it breed negativity, because that negativity really attacks you. Remember, your subconscious mind can't tell the difference between reality and fiction. It can't tell the difference between your imagination and something that's really happening. So if you think about your harassment, your subconscious mind will make your body react to it in a way that it is being harassed again. So if you get harassed, and then you go walk down the road thinking about it for 30 minutes, and your body is like reacting in the same way. That's why. It's your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind has more control over your bodily reactions than your conscious mind. I think some people are of the opinion this will just continue forever. But I'll tell you what, it's expensive, and the governments can't afford it. I don't think. Not to just be following people around, normal citizens for no reason. They're giving themselves a bad name, okay, and it's costing them money. So it won't last forever at all. And don't be surprised if there's a big recession comes in, they'll probably stop doing it. Meditate, meditation, very powerful. I'm not going to go into the details of meditation. I'll do a separate film, about meditation, but it's incredibly powerful. The way to think about meditation is it's going to the gym for your mind. It's like working out, and obviously like the harassment is making your mind unhealthy, but meditation will make your mind healthy, and it's totally free. Repair your social and reputation. Our harassers are going behind our back. They'll be talking to people about you. They'll be saying something like, I don't know what it is, whatever it is in your case, that you're a terrorist. They might be telling people that you're a paedophile or you're a criminal. And all these, they'll be saying like really nasty things about you, because they've got to justify this harassment. You're being accused of something serious, but there's nothing to worry about because they haven't got any evidence. They don't need evidence these days. That's something I'm going to go into later. The whole, the laws, the constitution has changed. If someone just accuses you of being something, they'll put you on a list. You'll get harassed. That's their idea of investigating someone. Of course, that it's just rubbish. It's not good investigation work at all. They're basically telling TIs that they're there watching them, and the reason they do that is because most TIs are totally normal people, and if they watched you without harassing you, they'd just spend 10 years watching you having a normal life. So they harass you to try to get you to do something criminal, so they can justify their ridiculous behaviour. What you need to do to defend against this, is keep telling people about your views about the world, your good intention, how you feel about your friends, how you feel about work colleagues, that you like them, that you enjoy working with them, and you've got to keep drumming it into people. Let people see who you really are. I think the last thing you want to do really is be too quiet. You need to talk to people every day, show people that you're okay. If you're being accused of a terrorist and you sit there in the corner not saying anything, you're kind of feeding into that idea, and because there's nothing to dispute it. If you show people who you are and what you really think about the world, you're going to be disputing whatever people are saying about you behind your back. Alright, let's go on to D. Defend. Okay, defend against financial pollution. Just look out. Because look out for people asking you for money for charity who aren't really charity vendors. Because you're a TI, you're going to be exposed to this. One of the ways they attack you is financially. Look out for being conned. Don't be too trusting, and be tighter with your money. Okay, because you need it pretty badly as a TI. A lot of TIs, they get blacklisted from work. That could happen to any of us lot, and your savings is going to be something you really need. I'd say TIs need their money much more than other people, I don't think TIs need to be too charitable with their money if you don't really want to be, because you're more than likely you're going to getting conned anyway. Just pick them carefully. Direct debits, get in your bank account. Check out your bank account. Streamline your account. Defend against noise pollution. What I've realised is, if you go somewhere where there's a lot of people, you're going to get harassed. If you're getting harassed with audio, be prepared with your whatever you use, ear defenders, noise cancelling headphones. I'm going to talk about this in another film, but I found a great way, if you're being harassed in that way. Try earplugs, like they use in the building site, them soft ones. Combined with noise cancelling headphones, and play music on it as well, and it actually blocks out everything. It's a severely good method. That if you're a targeted individual, we're so like already overly stressed that you want to avoid any extra stress, even if it's a small amount. Defend against it. Defend against air pollution. Like these Chinese people wear these masks. I mean, if you're going into the city, it wouldn't do you no harm to wear one of them. Really, I don't think, especially not if you're a TI. You are going to look a bit more like a terrorist, but they're becoming more and more commonplace. Stay away from roads and stuff, like busy roads and that. If you're walking through a city, just be mindful of pollution. You'd be better off as a TI really walking, like avoiding the main roads if you can, and going more off road. That way you're going to make your targeting a lot more difficult, because like a lot of harassers will be patrolling on major ways where they're going to get probably more hits or whatever. If you're away from the pollution, they're going to have to someone's going to have to go specifically to where you're going. It's more expensive. It's more resource heavy. Visual pollution as well. Don't look at ugly stuff like rubbish and bad design, bad products and all this kind of thing. It does affect you. Really notice, if you sit and look at the contents of a bin for an hour, how do you think that's going to make you feel? This stuff is totally relevant. Compare that to if you go into a beautiful countryside or sit on the beach looking out into the sea. It's a massive difference, And I think people don't realise the significance of what you look at. It's important, Another good thing you can do, which really helps your mind, is just keep your environment tidy and clean. Don't let it get messy and cluttered, because it'll affect you. It'll affect your stress level. If you keep it clean and tidy and everything neat, you'll be less stressed. Emotional pollution. Just avoid negative people. You don't need it. As a TI, you do not need angry people, people who are upset and people who are angry at you, people who are giving out negative vibes. Unless they're your friend and you want to, or you really think that someone needs help or you want to help them, just avoid them. Honestly, it's emotional pollution, Defending against social and reputation pollution. Same as before, really. Defending against food pollution. If you're going out for a long time, consider making yourself a packed lunch. Consider getting yourself a thermos flask and putting something in that instead of having to buy polluted food while you're out. Because I don't know what other people think about this, but I've started to notice a lot. Whenever I do, I'm always disappointed. Always. But there's something about the place and the advertising or the smell of it. You walk past this place and you think, oh God, that'd be such a treat to go in there and have something to eat. And it costs you whatever, $20 or 20 quid or whatever. And you get halfway through it and you think, I could have done better than this. And it's polluted as well, probably. Unless you're lucky enough to be at a good place. And I don't know, if you live in Santa Monica or something like that, you're all right. Defend against water pollution as well. If you're not going to be able to get hold of water, take your own. Defend against harmful electromagnetic frequencies. And that's again really staying out of these coffee shops and restaurants and things where it's just got Wi-Fi in it now, Staying away from cables, you don't want to sort of sit and have your packed lunch sitting underneath an electricity pylon, because they're really bad for you. Same as sitting in some coffee shop. You can feel it a lot of the time. You can feel it buzzing. It's a weird feeling of tenseness that you get, especially if you're drinking coffee in one of these places as well. You're getting bombarded with Wi-Fi. Not good. Not good at all. Defend against brainwashing. Talking about sort of radio, but sort of bad radio, bad TV, bad films. Don't get yourself in a position where you've got to sit through that stuff. Because it's like I've said, what they manipulate is your subconscious mind. if you watch horror, that will affect you. You know, even though your conscious mind is thinking, that was good, I like that, I know it's not real, it's good, but like at the time I thought it was real and yeah, I really enjoyed it. But your subconscious mind is saying, this world is weird. There's all these monsters about, you know. You can't tell the difference. So it affects your personality. So I'm going to leave it there, the A.R.D principle. Attack, repair and defend. You know, are you thinking about them three things in whatever you do as a TI? Right, so I'd like to say thanks to YouTube letting me post these videos. And thanks to my subscribers and that as well. I hope you have a good day and a good life. See ya.